Hey friend, sometimes all it takes is one act of kindness to change everything. Stay till the end. This might be the story you needed today. Edvard sat on the park bench, elbows on his knees, staring at the shoes he couldn't afford to replace. The park was quiet that morning. Only a few joggers passed by, and the trees rustled with early autumn wind. His breath formed small clouds in the crisp air, but inside he felt nothing. Or maybe too much. He couldn't tell anymore. Just last month, he had a job, a fiancé, and an apartment they were going to move into. Now, he had none of it. She left. The company downsized. His savings vanished faster than he expected. His phone buzzed occasionally, family checking in, but he was too ashamed to answer. What would he say? That everything he worked for had slipped through his fingers? He stared ahead, expression blank, as a little boy passed with his mother. The boy was holding a balloon and singing quietly to himself. Edvard closed his eyes. What's the point? Why try again when life keeps knocking you over? Then he heard it, a voice beside him. "You look like you've been talking to ghosts," said an old man sitting down beside him, gently holding a paper bag of birdseed. Edvard gave a half-hearted chuckle. "You're not too far off." The man smiled, his beard snowy and eyes kind. He tossed some seeds toward the pigeons gathering near their feet. "Lost something important?" Edvard hesitated. "Everything." The man nodded, as if he'd heard that answer before. "Life has a way of testing the strength we didn't know we had." Edvard sighed. "I used to think positive thinking was real. Now, I don't even know who I am." The man didn't rush to answer. Instead, he said quietly, "I lost my wife 8 years ago. Cancer. The day after the funeral, I sat on this exact bench for hours, wondering how I'd live without her." Edvard looked at him. "And now?" The man shrugged, smiling sadly. "Now I feed the birds. I read her letters, and every morning I find one small thing to be grateful for. A warm scarf, the sound of leaves, a stranger who says hello." He paused. "Gratitude doesn't fix everything, son, but it keeps the light on inside while you rebuild." Edvard was silent. Then, almost without realizing, he asked, "How do you stop the fear?" The man tossed more seed. "You don't. You just stop letting it speak louder than your hope." Something about those words sank deep. Edvard looked down again, at his worn shoes, his chipped fingernails, his bruised pride, and then slowly up at the sky, where the balloon the little boy held was now floating freely, dancing in the wind. Maybe it was okay to let go. Of the story he thought he had to live, of the timeline that betrayed him, of the idea that failure meant the end. He pulled out his phone, the screen lit up with messages he'd ignored. One from his sister, "I made soup, come over." Another from his former coworker, "They're hiring where I am, you should apply." Edvard smiled, just a little. It wasn't much, but it was real. He turned to the old man to thank him. But the bench beside him was empty. Only the pigeons remained, pecking peacefully at the crumbs. Edvard stood up, his body heavy but his chest a little lighter. As he walked away, he whispered to himself, "One small thing to be grateful for." And then another, and another. Because maybe staying positive isn't about pretending life isn't hard. Maybe it's about believing, despite everything, that the pain you feel today won't last forever, that broken isn't the end, that you still have time to write a better story.